Melanie.
Yo, triple double banger, guys. What's up? We're back again with a really cool interview this time around. We're with RKB and we're going to be talking about the Lupe Fiasco NFT. So, RKB, what's up? How are we doing? And how'd you get involved with Lupe Fiasco?
What's up, guys? Coming to you from the East Coast, now in Providence, Rhode Island, just recently. This is part of my kitchen, by the way. I got involved with Lupe. So my story is typical, like most people in the space. Crypto 2011, 2012. Did that for a while. Into altcoins, and then came to be like my best friend was, let's take a couple grand, stick it in the NFTs. We did it at the right time. Got into that, and then I was actually, before I moved here, I was at a on-call job, and I was in Wyoming for 2 years. And the last year I spent just immersing myself. There was nothing else to do, and I was on heavy COVID protocols. So I spent it immersing myself into Web3, into NFTs. It was like the tail end of altcoins for me. I still do a little bit with that, but now it's just kind of like stacking. And then I got really good at it, and I started to, as I became more familiar with NFTs, I started getting involved with like RumbleKongs, and then from RumbleKongs got involved with Mike Fogg, who does Space Hoops, like super tight server, and then a whole group of people from that world got involved with. We're doing a RumbleKongs team when they drop the token. So I've got myself and 5 other people. We're doing AstroKongs, where we're actually making a brand of a RumbleKong team. Got involved with that, and as I started to get involved with collecting one-of-ones or like generative art or stuff like Cedar King, who does like polyfractals, I ended up making friends in the space when I was trying to grow my Twitter so I could be mobile and read interesting stuff every day. And then I started to be asked to mod, and then, do like superstar mod stuff. And then I was an admin. And then I just recently, in the last month or so, actually in the last 6 months, we've been being parachuted in to like either, to like community manage a whole project. And that's how we ended up coming in to the Lupe, the LFT. I'm a huge hip hop fan from like anything pre 2005, because I'm kind of an old head. Like I've been listening to Lupe for a long time, since like high school. I was super psyched to get involved with it. And it was kind of like my agency's first big project, which we started about a month and a half ago. So that's how I got to LFT.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I think one of the best parts with NFTs in general is just the aspect. I mean, like in your sense, it's kind of, the career and job duties ended up getting you connected with these kind of like different celebrities and big names. But I mean, overall, the connectability that NFT provides, I think that, overall, that's one of the best parts. But specifically for Lupe, LFT. So let's run down a little bit. I checked this project out the other day, and I was seeing this character, and I was like, okay, I'm wanting to see more. And we'll get to some of the photos of the characters here in a little bit. But for the roadmap, let's run through. So for April, the LFT launch. Lupe Fiasco's LFT mints on April 4th. LFT is your passport to Lupe Fiasco's creative journey into Web3. On top, LFT holders will be showered with real-life privileges, aka utilities, such as invitation to redeem free access to Lupe Fiasco's concerts throughout 2022. Limited capacity reserved for LFT holders. Please see details in the FAQ, yada, yada, yada. But I mean, run this through right away here. So for April, this is the launch. This is, you get the avatar, I'm assuming, and then you get to go to some of the different concerts.
Yeah, no, it's interesting the way it runs down. So yeah, he wants to be a creative space, very exclusive space. As a matter of fact, I think we were talking about your group, and some of your listeners were looking at this. There wasn't like a mint quantity. We've got that at 1,800. I just wanted to mention that to you. So of which a few we've already sold on like a special pre-sale. So we're probably have about 1,500 to go. And the special utilities are everybody who purchases an LFT will receive signed from Lupe album artwork, every single holder. They'll get the album artwork signed by Lupe or a special print that he chooses. And who knows what he's going to do, because it's super creative. And then the other real life utility is you have access for any concerts that Lupe does for the rest of 2022. They will be holding seats for LFT holders. And it's first come, first serve, but I think it's going to be a pretty decent amount of seats at every Lupe concert through 2022 after we mint. And you'll be able to go and see the concert for free. Of the 1,800 NFTs that we mint, when Lupe puts out his next album, which he's been like kind of withholding a little bit, but looks like it's going to come soon, Lupe is going to do a special. I may have heard off the record it's going to be gold, a special edition of that record with special packaging, and there's only going to be 400 copies of that, only for LFT holders. So everybody who purchases an LFT and holds that pass will be eligible to like enter into a raffle to have access to that album, which I hope I get one. And then as far as metaverse or Web3 advantages, you will on mint day receive what the original picture you saw up here at the top of the roadmap on our website at Henka.io is a preview of some artwork that we did inspired by the Cool album. It's been 15 years since he put that out. So you'll get that as your placeholder art when you mint. And then upcoming soon in April, we will be dropping you the actual NFT, the profile picture. So and they will be separate assets. Furthermore, down the line, we'll be dropping a metaverse avatar for you, like kind of when they're prepared and when we decide like where in the metaverse that's going to live. So kind of like unlike for example, the Snoop Dogg NFT where it all comes in one, you'll have three separate assets, which is pretty awesome.
Listen, Axe works for the artist on this one. So I kind of wanted to jump back just for a second because originally when we looked at it a few days ago, it was kind of around the 10,000 mint, and then it was changed down to 1,800. And I think that, in a way, it's really good when people decide, hey, you know what, like we're going to make a change for the better, or that we want to be able to actually bring specific value to the proper amount of holders, right? So with it being changed to 1,800, why was that?
Well, I think it's something you're going to address later. We may as well get to it now. A lot of celebrities jump into NFTs, right? And who did you mention earlier? Floyd Mayweather?
Yes.
It's like what you're getting is like, everybody goes to house parties. Lupe's no different. Neither is Snoop Dogg or Floyd Mayweather. They say, oh, NFTs are awesome. You should do an NFT. They don't understand it. So they just get put into these projects where it's like just so. And I'm sure the same thing happened when Lupe got involved with this. It was explained to him what an NFT was. And then I think he kind of took it and ran with it and was like, wait a minute. So I'm going to have a special, like, it's like a VIP lounge for like super fans and people that are in there. And when, once he started thinking in that creative way, because he's, into art, into fashion, he's into issues, right? He was like, wait a minute, I don't want to do 10,000. He's been thinking about it for a long time. And like just maybe like a week or so ago, he was like, let's make it super exclusive. Let's make it 1,800. It'll be baller. You can go to concerts, you get a signed thing, access to the album, listening parties, all that stuff. And like out of nowhere, he made it to 1,800. So it's not a cash grab. It came off funny in the beginning because, we kind of like spraying the whitelist a little bit. And it's just, I think it just comes down to like understanding how the space works. And then once, we all got on the same page, he thought to himself, let's make it super exclusive, which is why we're only going with 1,800. So that's how we arrived at that number. And we arrived at it recently because he realized that there are a lot of people in the space that blow out 10,000 NFTs and there's like no utility and no interaction, but he didn't want that at all. So we have like obsessive mods that are in that space. Big hip hop fans, myself included. I work with them, but I love hip hop and I love Lupe. I've been listening for a while. But like everybody in there wants it to be like super special. And then finally Lupe came through and made it 1,800, which makes it all the more tasty. And then all this utility that we just talked about, you said you guys looked at it a couple weeks ago or whatever. This kind of all did come through. I wouldn't say last minute, but those things take a long time to approve, like coordinating for the concerts and stuff like that. And that's the way Lupe wanted it. So better late than never is pretty much where we're at with that.
No, I agree. And I think that one of the things with the aspect of celebrities coming into the space is it really comes down to if a project is successful with a celebrity down to the team. And you talked about, the super mods, your involvement, et cetera, et cetera. So do you want to talk a little bit about kind of the team potentially behind the scenes about how things are operating and, how the kind of flowing of conversation and just direction is?
Yeah, so I have a traditional team. I actually run a Web3 agency that does strictly community management. And again, this is kind of like our pet, it's our favorite project at this time. And I work with two other admins. So we have you see me and you see Lupe who comes through the server all the time. But I've got two other admins that work with me on the same level, and one does security and one does community engagement. And our security is like super tight, super locked down. So, our users don't have any issues. We have a lot of new people in the space. They love Lupe, they love hip hop, and now they're learning about NFTs through us. We're the gateway. But we have mods that came to us when we're hiring mods. They came to us because they were psyched about hip hop. But what was even neater is we realized there was like 20 people that wanted to mod for us, and you can only have so many people mod. So we came up with something called the guest mod in the Lupe. We have people that are doing it for like the love of a game and a sweatshirt, that on some days I'm thankful for them because they're in the space more than me and my team are. They're in there like whipping up excitement. We've got Harvard Hall chat, for everybody to go in and just like chop it up. We randomly open it up. We've got super mod El Janelle and Black Hat Mage. I don't know if you guys know any of these names, but they're in our server and super active. I mean, I think they're like putting, 8 to 12 hours a day just in there talking about hip hop, talking about Lupe, and they're super friendly. And another thing we have is it's just like a real mellow community, and he didn't want it to be like a grind for levels, because you know how that is. Everybody's just going, hey, hi, whatever.
Yo, good morning.
And there's no real conversation. If you pop in there, like, it could be a little bit slow once in a while, but when you pop in there, the conversation starts going. It's real stuff, you know what I mean? And we drive everybody in the general chat, and maybe they split off into a voice chat once in a while. But I mean, I like the server. I hang out there when I'm not working. So
yeah, 100%.
Okay. Dude. Let's take a look at the art.
Yeah. I mean, so for these ones, again, when we looked at this the other day, all we saw was a character. And again, what I keep saying, looked at these the other day. If you're in the Shot to the Moon community, which is a podcast and NFT community that I'm a part of, typically whenever we get different kind of like whitelist offerings or giveaways in general, we try to go through the project collectively just to kind of learn a little bit about that. And at the time, the art is such a focal point, even though sometimes people say, oh, it's not about the art, et cetera, et cetera. I think this is actually kind of cool. And some of the traits are stuff that we haven't really seen too much of.
Yeah, no, it's good stuff. We were actually, as you were probably talking about in your community, we didn't get the art till about. I mean, we had the cool artwork and then we had the preview. The half and half, like classic Lupe, and that was the only piece of art we had to roll with for like 3 weeks. And I was starting to worry. I'll be honest. Like, when I get this art, how's it going to be, right? Anyway, we got the art. We got the. I sent you the link. I don't know if you can make that available to people, but it's this guy, Nicholas Lesafre. I believe I'm saying it right. And he's like an animation and 3D artist. And if you go to his website, and you can obviously come through the Lupe Fiasco Discord, which you can find on LFT. LFT by Lupe Fiasco is the Twitter handle. Get to our Discord, and you'll see all the links there. Or you can go on the Henka website and get to it. But like, if you look at this guy's, I don't know if he's a personal friend of Lupe or how they found him, but he's incredible stuff, man. So the art, I think, is badass. I like the dark look to it, and there's a lot of interesting traits there. What did you think?
Yeah, no, I thought they were kind of a vibe. I thought it was something that was a little bit different, and I mean, just just the way that it is, we got kind of almost like the Burger King sandwich down there on the bottom. My keeps going for it just because of burnt bun, or I don't know. It's like it's a weird memory of SpongeBob, and I think the whole nostalgia of things is just amazing. But guys, if you are wanting to talk about, if you're wanting to check out the project itself, I'll throw down some of the links that RKB was talking about a minute ago down in the description below, but otherwise it's at LFT by Lupe Fiasco here on Twitter. But boss, is there any kind of final things you really want to kind of hit home before we wrap up about this NFT project?
Yeah, I mean, I just wanted to hit that. I think we keep coming back to it. Offline, we're talking about like celebrities getting into NFTs. It's like I think it's important for people to know that for Lupe, like the rest of us, even the two of us, we're still learning the space every day. It moves so fast. And like, one of the important things, you look at the third thing on the Henka website. If you look at the LFT by Lupe Fiasco website, you'll see it says we will unlock exclusive access to special edition Lupe merch for all LFT holders. It's like he wants this to continue giving to the users. And I know for a fact on the back end, I've seen some of the merch. And I know for a fact that he's a very creative guy, dreaming up all this new stuff that the pass holders will be able to enjoy well into the future, not just after mint day. We're minting April 4th if you're on the whitelist. On the whitelist, it's for 0.1. April 5th, if there's any left, and again, we reduced the supply because that's what the man wanted. We'll be minting for
Gotcha.
So you can go to www.henka.io or catch us on Twitter at LFT by Lupe Fiasco. That's all I got.
Yo, banger. All right, guys, if you enjoyed this video, of course, be sure to give it a like, subscribe, and we'll see you next time. And again, RKB, thanks so much for popping on, boss.
It was good to see you.